Hello everyone, welcome to another video of me. So I just want to get to the point. I'm doing a quick review of the Victrix Pro Ko, and some of the videos that I've seen didn't answer certain questions that I want to know the answer to, and I'm gonna go straight to it. Okay, so the main thing about the Victrix that I've noticed, and a lot of people that have said, is that the buttons are very small. That's one of the main complaints I've heard whenever I review. I've seen reviews of the Victrix, right? And for comparison, I have here a Hot 42. This is, which version is this? This is the T16, okay? This is a T16. Now, if you want to compare the button size, I'll do this. If this is regular button, this is the size of my finger. Okay? It pretty much, I wouldn't say it covers the whole button, but you have leeway to reach either side of the button. You don't have to hit it straight in the middle, right? Now, if you want to compare it to the Victrix Pro Ko, my finger covers the whole button. Now, if you have smaller hands and smaller fingers, this might not be a problem. But the fact that the buttons are smaller, I think only this button is regular size. I think it's like 24 or 30 millimeters. Yeah, and these are like just smaller. The fact that these buttons are smaller, it means the gaps in between these buttons are bigger. So if you're not accustomed to that, you might miss the button. And on top of that, these buttons texture is very slick. It's glossy. So if you have like greasy fingers or sweaty fingers, or maybe you're eating something like food residue was on your fingers and you go back to playing, it'll stay on the buttons. So that's not a big issue for me. If you're carrying like around like a microfiber cloth or something, you could easily wipe this down. Another question a lot of people has been asking about the switches. So I have here the switch that the Victrix Pro comes with. Let me take that out. So I'll take the button out so you could see the switch, okay? So the main switch, I'll get that later, is the silver switches. I think MX Silver. Okay. So if you can see, they're kind of the size of a keyboard switch. And a lot of people ask if you could use like low profile switches. Now, my Hot 42 has low profile switches. And here are two for comparison. This is the stock switch that comes with the Hot 42. I don't know if you could focus. They're very low profile, which is good, right? And this is another low profile that I bought a while ago. I think this is called like the Shadow or something. These are low profile, kind of a little bit smaller from the stock 42. And apparently these has a faster actuation point. And a lot of people ask if they could apply low profile switches on the Victrix. And I don't think you can, mostly for these specifically ones, if you're trying to find like leverless low profile switches, mostly because, I don't know if you could see, there's like excessive space and the two pin connectors are wider than the pins here, okay? And the fact that they're low, they don't stick. They don't stick. So, and I figured out, since they look kind of like keyboard switches, I have here a brown keyboard switch from one of my old keyboards that I have, right? These have brown, I think, Kacron switches, and these work on the Victrix. So even with like, if I connect it, yeah, look, it's on it. So it's button first. It works, no problem. This is brown, this is silver. So it seems to me that if you find like low profile switches, it won't work because of the way it's structured. So you have to find maybe a low profile keyboard switch for it to work. Yeah, but at least for me, I don't have a problem with it. The sound, I thought it would be a bit more spiky, because I've heard in a video it was just like very spiky in the ear. Is not the case. And I've seen like you could buy like dampeners and they could dampen the sound, but not so much as you would expect. But honestly, it ain't that bad. And I've also seen, if you're not comfortable with the glossy buttons, you could order some key caps online. They're very specific for those. But yeah, another thing, one of my personal questions is, what are these side sections about? Also, this cover, this metal, it's solid. It's very good. You can't even like really bend it. You could twist it, but it's just super solid. And since it's a piece of metal, it's cool to the touch. It does, and it's magnetic. You can hear it just snapped in. And that it's magnetic, it's it leaves the type of material, it leaves fingerprints. So like I said, you could carry like a microfiber or something and wipe them off, like so. It's no problem. So one of my other questions is, what are these slot things on the side? There's like little slot gaps on either sides. And someone showed me online that you could carry like a camera strap and it'll work. And I kind of tested it and it sort of does. You see? It sort of does. But like, you see how it's not flushed? It's like sticking out, right? It's not flush. So it's like a 75 to 25 in terms of comfort. I'll just quickly show you. Yeah. So if you want to carry it around like that, that's kind of cool. Just walking by with your stick like that. That's dope. That's really, really cool. I like that. So that's definitely an option. If you don't have a backpack, or you just have this, like if you're going to an event or a tournament or whatever the case, you could use that as an option. I also have this idea. Maybe if you have like a carabiner or maybe a keychain you want to show off or whatever. I have this. It's like a metal lanyard. You could just attach it to the side, because I have this microfiber cloth and this connection is too small to get into that hook. So I would just wrap it around here, kind of a sharp turn. But essentially you could do it, right? Also, like if you have something here, you have to remove this in order to remove the case. So yeah. Is there anything else? Also, if you're thinking about getting the Victrix, my main factor of getting it is compatibility. Because if you go to these tournaments, they use mostly PS5s. So since I have the Hot 42, if you have one of these leverless that you need a Brooks converter or like was a Magic Boots or something, and you're fine with that, cool. But my issue when I took this to a tournament, or I went to Evo last year and I took this and I had to bring my Brooks converter. My issue is for the Hot 42s, you can't just connect it to the end of the USB. You can't just do that. You can't just connect it to the freaking USB and connect it straight to the PS5. You can't just do that. You have to connect it to this thing on the side and then have it recognize the PS5, and then you connect it. You have it connected to your PS5. Now the problem with that, it takes a while to recognize it. So there was time where I plugged this in and then I plugged it to the PS5, and then I'll start playing and it'll just stop. And I was like, oh, it's the the Brooks converter didn't recognize the connection. So it kind of messed up like my casual play. I don't really play in tournaments. I just play free play. So I'm like, I don't enjoy that at all. And look how it sticks out. It's like right there. So if you fuck up and you're playing on your lap and you like hit it the wrong way or someone bumps in you, like this moves. It's wobbly. It's not secure. You know, I don't really like that. If you're comfortable with that, cool. But like in most of these events, Evo, Comeback, CEO, Evo Japan, all that stuff, they use PS5s. So I just basically bought a Victrix because of the option of just to use PlayStation consoles, right? Yeah. Other than that, those are the only problems that I've not heard of from videos. So if you are curious about anything else, let me know in the comments and I'll check them out for you. Yeah. Also, one last thing, the accessibility into the leverless, it's pretty easy, but it's such a hassle to get the metal piece off. So let me quickly show you before I end this. So you have 4 switches in the end right here, right? So you just tuck them in. Okay? And like, since it's magnetic, you really have to like dig in here. I usually like do it from the bottom. If you have like nails or maybe a key or maybe like a separator thing, a little wedge, you could do it. You just lift it from the bottom and just open it like that, and it's completely open. Okay. Yeah, other than that, I personally love it. If you're a button masher and you're just trying to control your button mashing, like me personally, I think smaller buttons definitely helps. So it definitely helps with accuracy with your fingers. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like the wider the button, the more common you're just smashing the buttons. So yeah, that's all. Everything comes in here. You got your piece of tool, your tool here, 4 extra switches just in case these fail. Covers, you could add buttons, your splitter. You have to have this thing at least if you don't want your button flying off, because I feel like that's what's holding the button. If you want to rock it just like this, you can, but like keep in mind you have like these other parts, and I wouldn't say they're not fully secure. They are secure, but you never know. You might drop it or you bump it to someone and just comes flying off. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Like I said, if you have any more questions about this Victrix Pro Ko, let me know and I'll try to answer the questions. Maybe another video. I don't know. And that's it. All right. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.